Welcome back to the Sunny Stampin' Studio. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create these fun blooms with a Valentine sugar cookie center. Why don't we get started? First thing you're going to need is some kind of a paper plate, a foam brush, and a wooden dowel. Now I just bought this package of wooden dowels from the local craft store, and you can see they're the unfinished wood. So I also picked up some white craft paint, and any kind of acrylic paint is fine. So I squeezed a little bit in my tray, and then I used my brush to start coating my dowel. Now I've already gone ahead and done half, set that aside to dry, and then once that's dry, you can now take your brush and continue on with the other half. So as you can see, I just took my foam brush, dipped it in my paint, and then just brushed down along the length of my dowel. Now if you want, you can give it several coats. I found that just brushing it like this was enough, and I just set it aside to dry and then did the other side. So we're going to put that aside, and I'll show you now how you're going to create your blooms. So for your blooms, you're going to need 2 pieces of real red cardstock that are 5.5 by 5.5, a piece of Pretty in Pink that's 4 1/4 by 5.5, and a piece of Whisper White that's 4 by 4. Now the first thing we want to do is to give some texture to these 3 pieces of cardstock. So I'm going to set aside one of my real red pieces because I don't need that at the moment. And the first thing I'm going to do is to texturize my white and my pink. I'm going to be using my Big Shot. So the first thing I'm going to need is my multi-purpose platform. You can see here are the tabs, tab 1, tab 2. So I want to flip over my first tab, so I'm looking at tab 1. I'm then going to take my cutting mat, and I'm going to take my embossing folder, and this is the polka dots one, and I'm just going to lay my piece of cardstock inside the folder like so, put it on my cutting mat, and then I'm going to put my other cutting mat on top. And I'm going to then run that through the Big Shot. And I want to do this for both the white and for both the pink and the pink piece as well. Now, once those 2 pieces are done, I now need to do the same thing with my real red cardstock. Now you'll notice that the real red cardstock is too big for the embossing folder. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to use one of our texture plates. So to do that, I want to close up my multi-purpose platform. So I'm now on tab 2. I'm going to take my small dots texture plate. I'm going to lay my cardstock on top. I'm then going to lay on my silicone mat, and then I like to use my crease mat for this. And then I run this through my Big Shot, and then that gives me some texture on my red piece. Now once you have your pieces texturized, the next thing you need to do is to die cut the flowers. And to do that, I am using my Stampin' Up! This is called the Flower Folds Bigs XL die. And I'm going to start by doing the white and the pink. Now I'm not sure how well you can see it in the video, but there's 4 different flower sizes. There's the smallest ranging all the way to the biggest. So I want the 3 largest. So I'm going to lay my texturized cardstock, and I want it with the embossed pattern facing downwards. I'm going to lay the white on the smaller of the flowers that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to lay the pink on the medium-sized flower. And I've got my extended cutting mat underneath, and then I've got my other extended cutting plate, which I'm going to put on top, and then I'm going to run that through my Big Shot. Now when I'm ready to do the big flower, I'm simply going to take my real red cardstock and lay it on top of the big flower in the center. Now I want to do one flower that has no texture and then one flower that's texturized. So once that's done, you're going to have 4 die cut flowers. You're going to have the 2 red, the pink, and then the white. So the next thing you need is your cookies. Now I found these absolutely adorable cookies at the dollar store. They came in a pack of 5, and when you open them up, you can see each one is individually wrapped, which is absolutely wonderful for this. So grab a cookie, and then you're going to need some sticky strip, also known as red liner tape, and you want to go ahead and place some on the cellophane at the on the back of the cookie. Once you've done that, you can peel the red backing off of the red liner tape like so. And I'm now going to take my white flower, and I want to center and stick my cookie to the flower. And I'm sticking the dip in the cookie in between two petals. You can see the point of the heart in between two petals because this is where I want my dowel to be. So I just want to make sure that that's well stuck down. And as you can see, I've already gone ahead and put sticky strip on the back of this white flower. Because what I'm now going to do is to center and stick this to my pink flower. And although you can offset the petals, I prefer to have my petals aligned like so. So now I'm going to stick this down, and then as you can see here, I have some more of the sticky strip that I put on the back of my pink flower, and I'm going to center and stick this to my red flower like so. Okay, so now that's done, if you want, you can just use your fingers and you can gently curl up the petals if you'd like. Although it's by no means necessary. There is a crease in there to make it easy to do that. So you can do that with all the petals. And I'm now going to need my other big flower, the one that has no texture on it. I'm going to need my wooden dowel, which has had a chance to dry, and I'm also going to need a hot glue gun. Now I have my hot glue gun on the low setting, and I just want to squeeze, as you can see, a glob of glue in the center of my flower. And then with my dowel coming down in between two of the petals, I'm going to lay it right on top of my glob of glue like that. And then I'm going to squeeze another glob of glue right on top. And then I'm going to position my flower with my cookie right on top of that. And while the glue's still warm, you can adjust your flower and then just carefully pick it up, and then you can very gently squeeze the two sides together. So I'm just kind of forming it around the dowel, as you can see. And then you just set this aside to dry. Now make sure when you're using your hot glue gun that you use it on the low setting. If you use it on the high setting, not only does it get too hot and you could risk burning your hand, but the liquid is a lot runnier, so it spreads out flat instead of staying on top of the dowel like you saw this one. So now if you'd like, you can add additional decorations. I had tied a 14 or a 16-inch rather piece of whisper white organza ribbon around the stem in a bow. You could hang a tag from that. You could add some extra glitter if you want to spice it up a little bit. Sky's the limit. Very quick and easy tutorial, and a wonderful thing that you can do with children as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's project, and I look forward to stamping with you again.